Hi Royals! So I just got back from going on my walk outside and here's my basket. Let's go through and see what we got. So I showed you guys this one already and I found this one. It looks so cool. I'm gonna put it in front of the paper. Ooh, okay. I found some flowers as well. Okay. Found this one as well. It looks really cool. I think that these might make some really interesting marks on the paper too. So anything I thought might make some really cool, interesting marks, I went and I took out. So what I'm gonna do first, and I recommend that you guys do this as well, is to take a paper and lay out all of the objects and put them in front of that paper. And that's not gonna be where you guys are going to be doing your art. It's just gonna be where you're gonna be laying out the objects. So you can see all of the different natural objects that you guys have found. And then that way you can pick from them. And I noticed that I'm actually using 2 pieces of paper instead. And if you need 3, if you need more, the more the merrier. It gives you a variety to choose from. And this way, you guys will have a plethora of tools to choose from. You don't just have to use paintbrushes to work with. You can use whatever your heart desires. If you go out there and you find different things, I'll remember that one. That was cool. Little luck. We need some luck right now in these times. And I got you. You're so cute. You know, and it's nice to get out there and to get some fresh air and to get out of our house, but to be safe when we go out there, remember social distancing, and remember to go out there and be with a parent. Okay, I'm gonna quickly show you what this looks like too. So you can see all the objects I have. Okay, and then we'll get back over here. Okay, so now it's time for us to start working. I'll go like this a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna begin working. The first thing is remember to get your water first, fill it up halfway. Also, you're gonna want a brush. The bigger brushes are nice, and also a smaller brush. I gave you guys 2 of those. Oh, I found one of these as well. I thought that was really interesting because part of it is where it's more alive, and the other part is where it kind of looks like hairy, like a paintbrush. Thought that would be really interesting to work with in terms of stamping, or in terms of working with, in terms of painting with even. So I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, so I took a piece of paper and then I cut it in half. So go ahead and take your paper and cut it in half. Now I'm gonna take that paper and I'm gonna put it down in front of me. I'll take it and I'll tape it so that way I can hold it up at different times and show you guys what I'm going to be doing. Okay. So now my paper is ready to go. I always use the same paper so that way I can reuse this so I can work on it. So I don't dirty up the paper in front of me. Okay, next thing, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna start with doing something where I just do a quick stamp without a background color behind it. Later on, I can do it where I do a background color behind it. There's 2 ways of doing it. So this time, I'm gonna use an acrylic-based paint. So when you use an acrylic-based paint, you wanna use acrylic instead of watercolor. Okay, so this is your acrylic based. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it on my created palette. So you just take a palette and you fold it in half. You can use the same one that you've been using before. And start with a small amount of paint, just a little tiny bit. Don't use too much. You can use more later if need be. Okay. I want to experiment really and play with like how it would look. Maybe this one. Okay, so I'm gonna take some and I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna paint on top of it. Okay, let's see how this is gonna look. And I wanna go quickly because once it dries, it's not gonna work. So I took it like that. Now I'm gonna place it and press with my fingers. Okay, afterwards, I'll lift and you can see how it came out like that. Then, if I want, I'm gonna do it again, and this time, I'm just gonna see what would happen if I don't reapply the paint to it. It'll kind of be like the stippling effect that we did before, where it had paint on it and then it had less paint on it. And you can see what happens. All right, so I've done that one. If I wanted to, I could continue with that, or I'm gonna try something else because I wanna see what happens when I do a different one. Okay, I really wanted to see what this one looked like. I was kind of talking to you about that one earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apply the paint to it, and I can take it and I'm gonna put it onto that palette. I made a bigger palette this time. I'm gonna put the paint onto it. I'm gonna really get the tips of it. And my hands are gonna get dirty this time because your fingers will get dirty. It's all right. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna do it at an angle. I'm gonna press with my fingers. Press, 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 press. Let your fingers get dirty a little. Okay, and I'll lift it up. Okay. So it's kind of interesting to do things at angles. I'll show you what that guy looked like. So compositionally it turned at an angle that time. All right. Use your rag to clean your little fingers. Okay. This time I'm going to do this one. Okay, I might use some more paint. Okay, and okay. I'm going to make sure I very quickly, because you want to do things quick, you paint the tops of those leaves. You get all of those little angles. Perfect. So I painted the tops of those leaves. And then I'm gonna press down. And then carefully take it off. It's looking really neat. Okay. So clean your little fingers. Now I want to see what this is going to look like. Okay, so I'm just going to paint the edges of it. Another thing you could use is corn. If you've got corn, and you could paint the edge of corn, that might look really cool. So I did this, and now I'm just going to take it and I'm going to turn it. Oh, that looks really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it ended up looking like at the bottom. Like that. Okay. Next thing. These guys right here. Some of these things, maybe. And maybe I'll kind of turn them like that. Because you can have them go straight or you can turn them. So I'm going to go ahead and paint them real quickly. And now I'm going to go ahead and after I painted them, I'm going to take them and I'm going to press down. I'm going to press down in a couple places. Perfect. Okay, made a mess. So I'm going to turn it around so you can see what this would look like. So this would be a monochromatic stamping with natural objects artwork, and where it doesn't have a background behind it. So this would be step one if you wanted to do it with just one color. Okay. So after you do this, what you want to do is you make sure you clean up all your objects. And I'm going to take this guy over here. Looks very nice. And last thing you want to do is go ahead and put up your beautiful new artwork from nature so that your parents can see the art that you've been making in your house, because you guys bring color and you bring life to your house. Okay, bye Royals. The next one I'm gonna make is making stamping with natural objects art using 2 colors. Okay, have a heart for art and keep that art and heart in your house.